Hey, what's up guys, it's Derek here. Today we're going to rank the calisthenics chest exercises from least to the most effective when it comes to developing your chest. For that we're going to use the tier list, so we're gonna start with D rank and then end up on S rank, which means the most useful exercises. However, before we jump straight into the ranking, let's make it clear. If some of the exercises are not ranked high, it doesn't mean these are useless. You're just probably going to use them for different goals. My ranking is based on a few factors. The first one is how much you work your chest. Second one is progression system. Is it good or not really? And the third one is kinda individual, how much I feel comfortable with performing this movement. Alright guys, let's jump straight into that. So the first exercise is bench dips. This one is really popular among beginners, however, it's not really a good exercise to develop your chest. First of all, because it mostly works your triceps, and secondly, most of people perform it with this grip, and it means that you're going to internally rotate your shoulder, which is going to cause a lot of discomfort, especially for those that struggle with some shoulder pain. Let's move to the second exercise in D category. These are the tuck planche push-ups. This exercise can be used if you want to build up your strength or you want to achieve the straddle planche push-ups in the future. However, it engages your chest just a little bit. The most of the load goes to the anterior deltoids and the triceps because first of all, you lean more forward, and secondly, you maintain the protraction during the whole movement. And now the next exercise, which is quite of the old school, and these are the Korean dips. This exercise can be used for preparing your body for Hefesto or back lever, but it's not a really good movement for developing your chest muscles. Even though the chest muscle works a little bit here, the most of the load is taken by different muscle groups, and it also don't have a good progression system. What's more, this exercise is quite difficult when it comes to the technique, and secondly, it puts a lot of tension on your tendons. This is why I wouldn't recommend that to complete beginners. Just a quick note, Calisthenics app is coming soon. If you want to be up to date, make sure to sign up for the waiting list. And meanwhile, let's get back to the video. Alright guys, so let's move to category C. These exercises are still not something that you want to have in your program if your goal is to build chest. First of all, pike push-up. I really like this movement, it's great exercise, but not really for developing your chest. It's way harder than regular push-ups, but what's different is that the vector of movement is more vertical rather than horizontal. And this means that you're going to mainly target your shoulders and triceps. However, if you adjust the position and put your feet a bit further away from the hands, you will be able to target your chest a little bit more. This is why it's ranked as a C. And now the next exercise, so super wide push-ups. If you place your hands like this, you really restrict the range of motion for the shoulder flexion and horizontal shoulder adduction. So because of that, it's not going to be a good exercise to have in your chest program. Alright guys, so let's move to the middle of our ranking. So first of all, we have the diamond push-ups. That is the exercise that is going to target the whole chest, but because of the hands placement, you have more of the elbow flexion. Because of that, you're going to target a little bit more your triceps over the chest. Next up, we're gonna cover two interesting exercises because in calisthenics, the isolation movements are not really popular. So the first one is ring flies. The biggest benefit of this movement is that it's purely the shoulder horizontal adduction. It means that we don't have so many exercises that are going to be similar to chest flies at the gym, and this is one of these. However, the problem is that this exercise is quite difficult for beginners and it puts a lot of stress. What's more, the tension increases when you go lower, so if you're not prepared, it's quite easy to get injured. Another exercise is the bent chest fly. It's not really popular, but you can use it if you're not really advanced athlete. You're definitely going to feel your chest. What's more, you can engage your upper chest if you put your band at the lower level and then raise your hand above. If you want to target the middle part of chest, you're going to place the band at the height of your shoulders, and if you want to hit the lower part of your chest, you're going to pull the band down. If you want to have this exercise in your program, I would recommend you going for quite high reps to fill your chest, and what's more, not make it the main exercise, rather the accessory one. Alright guys, category A, the good exercises for developing your chest. So the first one, single bar dips. This movement is good, but you have to perform it in a good form. Most of people do not go deep enough. Because of that, they mainly work with their anterior delts and the triceps. You want to hit the bottom of your chest with the bar and then go in front with your feet to balance it. Unfortunately, I don't really like the progression system in this exercise because the more advanced bodyweight movements engage more of the triceps. However, if you want to load up the weight, it's possible, but you're probably going to end up struggling with the balance thing rather than pushing yourself to the limits. So because of that, the better alternative would be the regular dips with additional weight. Next up, the archer push-ups. This is the intermediate exercise that you can perform instead of regular push-ups if you want to put more load on one arm. So you're going to work with one arm and the second one is going to mainly stabilize your position. What's more, this is the unilateral exercise, so that means it can address your strength imbalances. Decline push-ups. This is a very effective exercise that you can have in your program, especially if you want to focus on targeting your upper chest. What's more, you can make it even better by elevating your hands on parallettes. This will let you to get deeper stretch of your chest and you're definitely going to feel your chest. Alright guys, so let's move to the part that you've been all waiting for. The best exercises, in my opinion, for developing your chest muscles. This has all we need, so the high muscle activation, the good progression system, and these are comfortable to perform for most of the athletes. So the first exercise is probably not going to surprise you. This is the regular push-up. This one works entirely your chest. It has a good progression system. If you cannot perform it, you can do incline push-ups or knee push-ups. If you want to make it harder, you can do the band-assisted push-ups or weighted push-ups. If you want to focus a bit more on the chest activation, make sure that you're not going with your elbows behind the line of the wrist, just make it in the line. This way you can be sure you're gonna target your chest. Next up, dips. I really like this exercise and consider to have it at the top of the list because it can be used by anyone. If you're advanced or intermediate, you can load up with the weight and make it quite comfortable to progress, either you add 10 kg or 50. If you want to avoid triceps taking the most of the load, you want to avoid the upright position. Instead, before you start the movement, lean forward and slightly retract your scapulas for better chest stretch. Don't worry, the dips are going to entirely target your chest, but put a little bit more emphasis on the lower part. And now the ring push-ups. I really like this exercise for intermediates because it has basically everything that we need. It's going to cover the most important functions of your chest. So first of all, the shoulder flexion, and secondly, the shoulder horizontal adduction. It's basically a combination of regular push-ups with the ring flies, but it's quite easier for beginners to access. Additionally, it's going to require a lot of stability, so if you're a beginner into performing the movements on the rings, it's going to benefit you even more. And also, it has a good progression system because you can load it up with the weight. Alright guys, so we went through the 14 calisthenics chest exercises. Right now on the screen you can see a summary. And if you missed my previous videos, make sure to check it out here.